Hey everyone, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm having some technical issues. Hold on a sec. There we go. Hi all, how are you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining. I know that this is a really weird hour, and I kept having to delay it because of technical problems. I'm sorry. So I'm sure a lot of people will catch this on replay. So in that case, also please leave a comment for me. And welcome. I know it's late for you guys. I know it's really, really late. So thank you. Also, Harrison invited himself over. So if he gets a bit disruptive, I'll just take him out because he keeps trying to bite my microphone. So let's see how that goes. I hope you're all well. Hey, CJ, and Jethro, and Busby. Okay, so because I ran so late, I'm not going to cover everything that I wanted to go through. I'm just going to cover what I thought was most important, and then I will try and pick up the rest later on. Can everyone hear me? Just firstly, how does it sound? Okay. All right, so I know that a lot of people have been going through the ISP reports kind of in order, you know, from beginning to end, which I'm not going to do. I just wanted to go through some crime scene stuff today because that is the, thank you, Busby, because that is the most important part. And then I wanted to talk about the kitchen a little bit. I know that a lot of people are talking about the blue stuff in the kitchen, and some of it's in the lounge, living, staircase area as well. But I'm just going to cover the kitchen today, and it's going to be a really short live. But hold on a moment. If the computer will let me. Okay, so again, welcome to everyone coming in. If I have technical issues, I'm so sorry. I'm warning you in advance that it might happen. Okay, so this is from the Idaho State Police, that, you know, that huge PDF that they dropped that was like over 500 pages. So this is picking up from page 89. And this is just some crime scene stuff. And the reason that I'm going through this is because it mentions the kitchen, which I wanted to go through. And I have a bunch of pictures as well. So I have some comparative pictures of the kitchen and the blue stuff. And then I wanted to let you guys know that I'm trying to put together a demonstration of the Amido Black so that we can see how it looks, how it works, if that's what it actually is in the pictures. Okay, so I'm just going to read the summary narrative here from the beginning of the ISP report starting on page 89. Okay, so it says on November 13th, 2022, at about 12:22 p.m., the Moscow Police Department requested the Idaho State Police District 2 investigations to assist with multiple homicides at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Latah County, Idaho. The victims identified as Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. ISP Detective Jeffrey R. Talbot, was assigned as the lead crime scene investigator. ISP detectives processed the scene and turned all collected items over to MPD Brad Payne. So that's kind of interesting, right? I mean, if you look at the time and you know when the call came in, how quickly did they decide, okay, we need help here? Like 12:22? That's, I'm going to say that's like immediately, right? I think. Okay, so I'm going to skip all of this information here because we've seen it. Okay, so narrative. Hi, Caddy. Thank you so much for joining. I know it's late for you guys. I was trying to run on time, but you know, technical problems. All right. On November 13th, 2022, at about 12:22 p.m., MPD requested ISP District 2 investigators to assist with multiple homicides at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Latah County, Idaho. At about 12:34 p.m., ISP Sergeant Darren Gilbertson advised me of the request. Again, that's really, really soon. That's really early after the call. I was assigned as the ISP lead crime scene investigator. At about 2:41 p.m., I arrived on scene. Already on scene were MPD Roger Lanier, Sergeant Dustin Blaker, and Detective Payne, and multiple other MPD officers providing scene security. Detective Blaker provided me with the following verbal briefing. Okay. So this is like almost 2:45. At about noon, MPD was dispatched to an unconscious person inside the residence. When they arrived, 2 household occupants identified as blank and blank, along with 2 other females and 1 male, were outside the residence. The male, identified as blank, stated when he had entered the house, he grabbed a knife from the kitchen and cleared the first and second floors, and then placed the knife on the table inside the living room. When officers entered the house, they found 2 deceased residents, Kernodle and Chapin, inside a bedroom on the second floor. Officers also found 2 more deceased residents, Gonsalves and Mogan, in a bedroom on the 3rd floor. All the victims appeared to have multiple stab wounds. The sliding glass door, located in the kitchen, 2nd floor rear house, was open, and there was a set of footprints in the melting snow leading into and away from the residence. There was 1 shoe print near the western edge of the property, leading west into a neighbor's yard, in front of the residence, north, were 5 vehicles belonging to the deceased residents. Hi, Jethro. Okay. B. Sometime in the early morning hours, Blank was awoken and opened her room door. Blank and heard a male say, "It's okay, Kaylee, I'm here for you." I'm not even going to get into that. It's been refuted, and I don't think that happened, or it was said, that was said. She then shut her door. A short while later, she opened the door again and saw someone approximately 5'10" tall, dressed in all black with a ski mask, standing in the kitchen. She made eye contact with the person and could see that they were Caucasian through the cutouts for the eyes. Now, that's a bit of an inconsistency because I have read documents where she said she couldn't tell what race he was. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of inconsistencies, as we know. Because Busby is enthusiastic. He's got that good energy, you know? Especially for so late for you guys. I'm proud of you guys. Okay. She made eye contact with the person and could see they were Caucasian. I don't know how she can suddenly see that. She shut her door again and exited blank, whose bedroom was, we know, a floor below, until blank told her to join her in her room, and blank ran down the stairs to the other blank's room where they fell asleep. We all have problems with that, but we're here to talk about the kitchen. Okay, so at about 5 p.m., after a search warrant was signed, Sergeant Blakey, Detective Payne, Latah County Prosecuting Attorney Bill Thompson, and the other Latah County Prosecuting Attorney Ashley Jennings, and I entered the scene and conducted a walkthrough as we entered the front, north facing. For first floor, I observed the following. As you entered the residence, from the door, there is a bathroom in front of you, south. There is a bedroom to the right, west. It appeared to be unlived in. Okay, so we know now that's the spare room. To the left, east, was a staircase to the second floor and a small hallway. As you walked east down the hallway, a small mechanical room was to the right, south. The hallway ended in a bedroom. So Bethany's bedroom. That bedroom had clothing on the floor. The bed was disheveled. Her dresser against the north wall had a broken door, and a drawer was partially opened. So now, under normal circumstances, I don't know what you guys think. I would find that strange, but I mean, we have seen the house, so I'm getting a little bit less and less surprised by the state of things in the house. But like I said, ordinarily that I would find that weird. There didn't appear to be any blood inside the room, so that's good. All right. As you go up the stairs to the second floor, you enter a small living room area. Now, this is one of the areas that I wanted to cover today in this live, but unfortunately, because of technical issues, I'm not going to have time, but we're going to cover it next time. This stair area where they took exhibits and where they did actually spray blue stuff on the wall, sort of at the top of the staircase, and there was also a backpack moved. So if you guys have looked at the photos, you'll see that in some photos, there's a backpack in the middle of the room, and in some photos, it's on the side of the room. And then there's like an energy drink thingy there. That's where they're talking about right now, and we will cover it. There was a folding table set up on the west side of the area, partially blocking the entry to the west hallway. The table had multiple red solo cups on it in game formation, beer pong. I've never played this game. So I'm going to have to, when I get a chance, I'm going to have to look up the actual game. Like, why are the cups, Okay, along with a small steak knife. There were multiple areas of red liquid on the table that appeared to be blood. I looked at the pictures and yeah, it does look like it. I mean, it looks kind of light, but I think that might just be, the photography of it. Finally found a channel that isn't afraid to say blood. Yeah, I mean, I tried to not say these things and I just forgot. And then I would lose my train of thought in the middle of trying to remember what the code word was. And then I'd forget what I was saying. So we're going to say blood today, at least today. Where was I? You see. As I walked west from the living room, there was a half wall to my right. I could see multiple drops and runs of red liquid along the entire half wall. Now, I don't know, they're assuming that a lot of this stuff is blood, but they're saying that they're taking these blood swabs as samples to test. I haven't I've scanned this PDF. I haven't read the whole thing in depth where I can see if they have results of those tests. So sometimes when they're talking about blood, it's still suspected blood, but also given what happened there, it's quite likely that it is. So they're saying it's consistent with, I don't know if that means they have test results, or if it just looks like it. Then again, it probably is. Okay. The stains and liquid were consistent with cast off and appeared to be blood. So this is interesting because this is going to, if this is cast off, then it's going to be in areas where, this is to do with movement of the knife, right? As far as I understand it. We do. We say a little more. We do. We don't have time. Continuing west down the hallway, there was a bathroom to the left with the hallway ending at a bedroom. So this is the second floor, right? So this is going to be that bedroom, that bathroom where there's washers, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like there's washing machines and there's some orange clothes on top from the photos. And then in the corner, there's, I think it's cleaning detergents, and then there's the shoe. The shoe that I think the other shoe is on another floor, which I still find weird. I like I know there's shoes all over the house, but I still don't understand, like, how does your shoe get onto a different floor? Like, yeah, okay. On the north wall of the hallway, near the bedroom door, there appeared to be a red-colored transfer mark at approximately my shoulder height. So a transfer mark, that could mean something like somebody brushed against the wall, and they had blood on them, or they, touched, or something like that. So it's just meaning that it went from one object to the wall. So it didn't come from the actual source to the wall, but through touch. Again, I could be wrong. I'm just a student. All right. From the living room, looking into the west bedroom, I could see a female, conodal, laying at the center of the room. Her legs and arms appeared to be covered in blood. As I entered the bedroom, I saw multiple drops of red liquid near the entrance and multiple red-colored drips on the door, above and below the doorknob. A male, Chapin, was laying in the bed, partially covered by a blanket and comforter. His neck and chest were heavily covered in red liquid. Multiple walls appeared to have red-colored cast off, and there were multiple areas on the floor with pools of red liquid. All the red-colored liquid appeared to be blood. Oh, hey, CJ, you took number 1. There we go. Hey, Yoli. Hope you guys are good. Thank you so much for joining. Chapin appeared to have a deep cut through the outer portion of his right knee and neck area. On the desk against the north wall of the bedroom was Conodal's U of I identification, along with a rolled up $2 bill and a blank consistent with a blank. That's been talked about a lot. So exiting the room and walking east, there wasn't anything visible of interest in the bathroom. Outside the bathroom, that's interesting because it is the same bathroom where they did take quite a lot of pictures. I guess they just would, but they didn't take any pictures like inside the shower or anything like that. But I mean, no, they might have, but we haven't seen them. Let me say that. Outside the bathroom door, there appeared to be small drops of red liquid near the baseboard, a small smear of red-colored liquid on the south wall, and a hair stuck to the wall. Now, that's definitely the first I'm hearing of a hair stuck to the wall. I don't know if you guys had heard that before. South out of the living room was a small step down a bedroom immediately to the left, east room. South was a staircase to the 3rd floor and a small storage area under the stairs. To the west was the kitchen. The kitchen is my favorite area at the moment. Let me check on chat. We don't have to say red stuff anymore. Kindergarten-ish. I know it is. And look, I suppose I should make an effort to, but today I didn't. I'm sorry you're feeling cranky, Yoli. I hope your ear infection gets better. Those are the worst because they make you dizzy. Harrison's snoring. Sorry. Shh. Okay. I think it is the weather change, CJ. Because even here, I mean, we're transitioning into spring and everybody has hay fever and is just feeling terrible. Yeah, he is snoring. I'm sorry. He finds this topic so boring. So boring. Hey, wake up. Focus. Focus. Okay. All right. So Blank's room was messy with multiple items of clothing on the floor and a notebook in disarray on the floor near her desk along the north wall. Her bed was unmade and her U of I identification was on the floor near the south wall under a makeup desk. There was also no apparent blood inside her room. So, again, like I said earlier, I mean, the state of the rooms would usually, I would find it weird, but I guess we've come to expect that with this house, although the top floor did seem a little bit cleaner. Okay. The kitchen counters were cluttered with dirty dishes, orange containers, and a fast food bag from Jack in the Box labeled Xana near the sink. The sliding glass door was just over halfway opened. On the outside of the window on the south wall were 2 handprints and a possible face print on the glass. We've seen that creepy picture, or there's a lot of them. It's terrible. Like, there's some horrible things to see in the pictures, but that, I don't know why. It's just so creepy. Okay, there were also red-colored drips on the north side cabinets near the sink and a red-colored liquid drop on the floor. The red-colored marks appeared to possibly be blood. Again, I haven't seen results of this, but we've seen the blue stuff on the cabinets and all of that. And I suspect what happened there, and the reason that I wanted to talk about it is because I can't tell if that whole blue area is reacting to protein or whatever. I think that maybe what happened was the stuff was sprayed on there, and there is a final phase of using that chemical where you're supposed to rinse it off and see what remains. I don't know if that's been done yet. So I think that's why maybe people are overreacting, because these reports aren't making it sound like a huge amount, and they're not talking about any actual results from those tests. One moment. Oh, I'm sorry, Busby. Yeah, it's definitely the change of seasons yearly. I hope you guys all feel better. Okay. As I walked south up the stairs, they switched back to the north. On the center wall banister were red-colored liquid smears. It appeared to be blood smears. At the top of the stairs was a small hallway. Directly to the left, west, was a bedroom, Consalvis's. The bedroom was clean, with the bed unmade, and a black-colored coat laying on the ground next to the bed on the left side, when looking from the foot of the bed. Partially behind the door on the north was a wire dog kennel. There didn't appear to be any blood inside the room. He's not mentioning where Murphy is at this point, but I think that he said this is around 2:45 already, so I'm not sure about Murphy's timeline. On the right side, east of the hallway, it ended with a bathroom. To the south of the bathroom was a small bedroom, Mogan's. There didn't appear to be anything of interest in the bathroom. As I entered the bedroom, there was a bed directly to the left, east. On the bed were Consalvis and Mogan. They were covered by a single colored comforter with a large pool of red liquid near the center of the comforter. So, look, there's stuff we just don't know, but I just find it hard to believe that they were covered. When you think about the struggle that must have ensued between the perpetrator, or BK, and Kaylee. Multiple walls and the ceiling had multiple areas of red-colored cast-off. Mogan had multiple visible cuts on her face. Consalvis had severe trauma to her face and visible cuts with a large amount of dried red-colored liquid. I think he means it was liquid, but it's now dried. There appeared to be aspirated blood coming from her mouth. I think they did mention a lung injury, so yeah, it's really tragic. Near Morgan's left hip was a tan-colored leather sheath, partially covered by the comforter. On the door edge, I saw multiple red-colored transfer smears. The upper mark was at approximately my shoulder height. All the red-colored liquids in the room were consistent with blood. Yeah, I know. I know it is really sad. And of course, you know, with this case, there's always a trigger warning. At about 6:30 p.m., I started 3D scans of Cornodal and Morgan's rooms. So we'd heard that before, that they'd only really done the scans of the two scenes. I don't think they did, or at least not immediately, the full house. At about 7:05 p.m., Detective Powell, Detective Schwenk, and I started marking the evidence with the numbered placards, while Detective Roberts photographed the exhibits. The following evidence was recorded and or collected. Okay, so shoe print casting, that was outside. Latent print, we saw all those pictures of them collecting that from the kitchen. Latent print. Okay, Cornodal. Okay, so there was a gray colored iPhone located on the floor next to Cornodal's left side. I'm wondering, is that Xana's phone? Because it's next to her, right? The thing is that the phone in the bed was a pink, there it is, a pink iPhone. So that I don't think was Ethan's. So I'm a little bit confused, but if there was a phone next to her, then I guess, I don't know, that kind of gives you an impression of how quickly this all took place, because she might have actually had a phone with her when she was in the kitchen, and then she went upstairs potentially and then was chased back down. If she had a phone with her, she never actually got a chance to use it, which is, I mean, that does indicate this whole thing took place really, really quickly. Okay, so there was a pink-colored laptop located on the chair of floor 2, Chapin, and then the iPhone, the pink one, on the bed. Okay, then there was a pink-colored laptop on the desk of floor 3. Now, I'm so bad at this, guys. Is East Kaylee's room or Maddie's room? I'm sorry, I don't know. Yeah, so they only scanned 2 rooms. Okay, a black-colored iPhone located on the nightstand of floor 3, East bedroom. Okay, East is Maddie's room. Okay, K-bar sheath located on the bed of the 3rd floor, East bedroom. Now, for the most important piece of evidence, it's, you know, the sheath gets like so little mention. I'm guessing that more will come out about it, but it's just curious to me. You know, help with Northeast. I can't, like, I don't know. I think I have a really bad sense of direction or something, because even if like I go somewhere in the mall and then I want to get back, I can't remember. So north and east and okay. Morgan, located on the bed of the 3rd floor. Gonsalves, white-colored blanket located on the foot of the bed, and then the tan-colored comforter located on the bed, and that's the one that was partially covering the 2 victims, and the knife sheath. Okay, so note, at about 8:15 p.m., Short's Funeral Home, along with Latah County Coroner Kathy Mabbitt and Assistant Latah County Coroner Debbie Carscallon arrived on scene to remove the bodies. Before moving the bodies, Sergeant Gilbertson and I put paper bags over all 4 victims' hands, along with Conodle's left foot, for the preservation of evidence during the autopsies. Okay, blue-colored iPhone located under the head of Consalves. Confusing to me as well, if she was up against a corner. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how a phone could be there, but jewel vape pen, is that how you say it? Jewel vape pen located under Consalves on bed. Latent print collected from doorknob of floor 2 west bedroom. That could have been anyone's. Steak knife located on folding table in living room. Blood swab collected from north wall. Okay, so we've seen pictures of this area. Collected from north, yeah, okay. There's quite a lot, actually. And there has been some kind of an interest in this nightstand as well. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it in the pictures and you can understand why. Okay, blood swab collected from floor under Conodle. I'm just kind of skipping through these because again, we don't really have results. Okay, so disposable camera, blue colored laptop located on floor near desk of floor 2, pink colored laptop located on rolling stand along west wall of floor 3 west bedroom. Okay, silver colored laptop, blue colored latex gloves located in trash can of floor 2 bathroom. I thought that he had said there was nothing of interest in that bathroom, but I don't know, maybe it's not of interest. We never really heard about it again. Another laptop, an iPad. Okay, then they completed their post-search photographs, and on November 14th, 2022, at about 12:10 a.m., all the evidence collected was turned over to Detective Payne. The windows and doors to the residence were sealed. At about 12:18 a.m., ISP personnel left the scene. MPD remained on scene outside the residence. As I entered the scene videos and photographs into evidence, located at the ISP District 2 office and provided copies to the MPD. Okay, we're continuing with the crime scene. I'm not going to read the summary narrative again because it's exactly the same. Okay. On November 14th, 2022, at about 11:24 a.m., ISP is a Division 2, Delta 2, something, D2 investigation personnel returned to 1122 King Road, Moscow, Latah County, Idaho for further processing. At about 11:25 a.m., oh, 1 minute, okay, I assigned ISP Detective Jake Schwenk to start a pre-evidence process video. Okay, so they started marking the evidence with placards. That's, pretty standard. More evidence that they collected was rolled $2 bills located on the desk. We know about that. The blue-colored powder, a blood swab collected from the west wall of the living room. So, there's a little bit more blood samples taken than we realized, I think. And then a blood swab collected from the west wall of floor 3, west bedroom. Okay, so at about 12:12 p.m., the windows and doors that were open during the processing were sealed, and then they completed their post-search video. The front door was resealed. The items that were collected were turned over to MPD, and their videos and photographs were entered into evidence located at the ISP District 2 office, and copies were provided to MPD. All right, and then continuing with the crime scene. This is November 17th and 18th. They had their forensic scientist, Jenny Ayers, Carrie Hogan, Tara Martinez, and Wyatt Barry. They responded to 1122 King Road, Moscow for further processing. Okay, so a potential hair collected from 2 places in the same hallway. So that's kind of interesting. A cigarette butt collected from the yard. There's always a cigarette butt, like in every case you hear about. I mean, they are useful. A note collected from parking lot on the north side of the house, east of Ford SUV. Another potential hair. Yeah, that's a lot actually. And potential hair collected from floor 2. Okay, DNA swab collected from exterior of south kitchen window. Router and modem. Okay. Okay, so then it was the same protocol as usual. Things were handed over. Okay, that is everything in relation to the kitchen. Harry's snoring again. Okay, so I collected all of the pictures of the kitchen just to put them together into one file to show you guys quickly. So I want to go through that quickly with you, and then I will cover the lounge area next time. So these pictures are pretty in depth. Let me get them for you guys. Hey, wake up. There we go. Okay. Sorry guys, this doesn't actually seem to be working. Working now. Can you guys see that? Kaylee had a gray or blue phone. I just sent you a pic on Discord. Okay, I will check that. Thank you. But still, though, like, I don't understand the actual positioning of it, if that makes sense. But it did say a blue phone, so thank you, Busby. Okay. Okay, so this is just the area leading up to the kitchen. There's a little bit of stuff on the floor. I get confused by someone called the kid Northwest. You see that? Yeah. Yeah. Very directional. Okay, some of these are a little blurry because I zoomed in. So that's, the hallway. Heading towards the kitchen. It's a little bit of the kitchen. So they haven't really said where these like suspicious red liquid marks were. It looks like they tested everything, but it's also kind of difficult. Like, I don't really know what they were expecting when you look at all of the stuff that's on the kitchen counters. And also, look, let me also bring up at this point that I know a bunch of people have been coming on social media and comparing pictures and saying this was moved and that was moved and why did this happen and stuff like that. And I want to explain that firstly, these pictures aren't in order. So we're just, I don't think that they're in order, and we're just receiving pictures. Obviously, they have to move stuff around. What's important is whether or not they document everything as they do that. So every photo has to indicate almost like a timeline of movement, but you can't expect them to process a scene without moving stuff. Like they're actually, like, it's normal that's what they're gonna do. They have to investigate. They can't investigate like without touching stuff. So they are going to do that. We don't know the time frame of the photos. That's why with these pictures of the kitchen, I took all the pictures of the kitchen that I could possibly find, because there's different times and lighting and stuff in them. So even if it looks repetitive, there's a reason. There's a reason for it. And that's what they do as well. They'll picture the same thing multiple times just because a few things have been moved. That is pretty normal. And they remember that as well, they're taking a video at the end of everything to show what's changed since the last video. So I think that's a little unreasonable that some people are, worried about that. Okay, so here you can kind of see, this seems to be like an area that they were quite interested in. I guess it might be because of the takeaway. You guys call it takeout, the DoorDash. So that's something that they were quite interested in, and the sink as well. I haven't worked with Amido Black. I know that that's what a lot of people are saying online that it looks like, and it does look like it. But from what I do understand, the substance is blue, right? But when it comes into the presence of a protein, not necessarily blood, it's going to turn like a black, navy blue kind of color. So I don't know if it's that much cause for concern that it's still blue. I mean, I don't think so. So hold on, let me check on chat. Hey, Nina. Oh, I missed a lot. Hold on. I think it's a very legitimate concern, CJ. Did they account for the no booties and one officer didn't have gloves on? I don't know. I mean, that's something that comes up in court. It's never good. Could they have moved items to the table in order to get to the drains? I think so. I mean, I don't know if they did, but it's definitely possible. But I mean, they were definitely interested in the kitchen at some point. That would be like vacuuming without moving the furniture. It's worthless, right? And some people do that. Some people do. Some people just vacuum and then they say, I'm done. But they didn't, Okay. More protein it gets. Yeah, the darker it gets. Right. It does blue and it's washed off. Yeah, so I think there's about 3 phases to this, where they put the substance on there and then it needs to like fixate, and then they take it off, and whatever's kind of left behind there is what they're looking for. So I don't actually think that this whole process, like, I don't think people are being very fair when they're looking at this like insane amount of blue stuff and they're freaking out yet. I mean, we don't know. But there is a rinse. Exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to say. So we don't know. We don't know the details. But I think that if there was that amount of protein, blood, whatever, they would have said so. I mean, that would be a huge amount, I think. Okay, so like I said, this is the area that they were very interested in. A lot of clutter. So, I mean, it would have been very difficult to navigate this area had something happened in the kitchen. Also, I don't want to be mean, but this place is messy. Like, it is messy. You're going to find dirt and stuff, especially in the kitchen. Okay, so that's another look. It's a completely different time of day as well. Like I said, I am working on getting a demonstration of some of these chemicals if I can. So yeah, that's kind of where they were looking. Okay, so later on, again, I've seen questions about why things were moved. They needed to be moved. Here you can see some of the process of what they did. I find it really interesting, the whole forensic process. Even if there was nothing to find, it's just really cool that they can do that, I think. Okay, so there's dripping down. And like Tanel is saying, we don't know if that was rinsed off. Also, it's really still very blue. It's not looking black. Okay, I just included this because it's all of the items that were moved over. If they were looking for something on the counter, I would have kind of expected them to maybe take some of these items to test, but maybe that's, maybe it wasn't that in depth. There's the drippy stuff. Okay. So there's something going on to the oven area. That looks a little bit black, maybe? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. That looks like there was like a glass or a bottle or something. There was a lot of spray up into the wall area. So they were looking. They were being thorough. I don't think you can see that very clearly, but I was kind of trying to show the splashback area. That does look dark. But then again, remember, it's only protein. And this is a kitchen. So it appears that she did eat the meal, right? Because that's something we'd wondered as well, just in terms of like the timing of the whole thing. There you can see the splashiness. I don't know what word to use. I think that law enforcement knocked over a plant or something. I don't know, unless it's coffee, but there was a plant somewhere there. So, a little bit clumsy. What can you do? There's more of the drip down. I don't know if they would. I know that with this stuff, it helps to let it dry, maybe? I think. I shouldn't say I know. You can see that there is some in the sink as well. So they weren't interested in the items. It seems like they were more interested in the surface that they were on, which I also find interesting. There's a clear plastic baggie in the brown bag with the food. A plastic baggie? Which one? What did I miss? Hold on. That? I thought that maybe is something like, I don't know how fast food works for you guys. Like maybe there was something in there, like, I don't know, cutlery. Okay, so it does seem like they kind of looked in the sink. So I guess that would follow that maybe they looked at the drains as well, which was asked. I did a little bit of a comparative just to see the areas, like what areas were they maybe looking at. What is interesting is that there are these gaps here. Like, I don't know if that wasn't sprayed or if, I don't know, but you can see like there were items there, but not exactly in the same place. That's another comparison. There are spots that are a little darker, but yeah. Could be plastic utensils. Well, yeah, but then where are the utensils? I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. I'm surprised that there's so many people awake right now. What time is it for you guys? Yeah, that is a good point. We should go through the pictures again. 10:30 p.m. Thank you so much for joining. I have to rush because I ran so late that I'm going to be late for work because it's 7:30 a.m. for me. But I just wanted to test out this time slot, which I actually really like. Let me know if you guys like it as well, and I'll try and get it in more, but I'll try and get it in a little earlier as I planned. And thank you for everyone who's been asking about Harrison. He wanted to join today. He's feeling so much better. So 12:24 and you're here. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, well, I have to go to work. I have to. It's daytime. You have to wake up. Okay. You like this time slot? Good. I'm going to try it. I'm committed to trying this. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I know that was a little bit of a rushed live, but we're definitely gonna be talking more about like the forensic process and all of the evidence and stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. Sleep well, all of you. Feel better and go to bed. Busby, good night. Sweet dreams, everyone. Bye.